Lions use gutsy 4th down call to finish off Packers in thrilling NFC North battle. What's up, football fans? Grab your snacks, because this game had more twists and turns than a roller coaster. And I'm here to break it all down for you. It was a showdown between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, and it was a game for the ages. Buckle up because this one had everything: bold decisions, clutch plays, and a dramatic finish that had us all on the edge of our seats. Let's dive right in and talk about how the Lions clinched their second consecutive playoff berth with a thrilling 34-31 victory. Spoiler alert: it came down to one crazy, gutsy 4th down call from none other than Lions head coach Dan Campbell. If you like aggressive coaching decisions and heart-stopping football, keep watching. Dan Campbell, the king of 4th down. First off, let's talk about Dan Campbell, the man, the myth, the legend. This guy has no chill when it comes to going for it on 4th down. Seriously, if you've ever thought, is he really going to go for it again? The answer is always yes. He's the kind of coach who looks at a 4th and short situation from his own 31-yard line and says, "Nah, let's roll the dice." If you haven't noticed, Campbell's mentality is simple: play aggressive, win aggressive, and let me tell you, this mindset has been a huge factor in the Lions' success this season. Now, you might be thinking, why go for it on 4th down with 43 seconds left? With the game tied and the ball in your hands? Oh, you know, because Campbell wasn't going to let Green Bay's Jordan Love get a shot at the win. I mean, who would? Instead of playing it safe and kicking a field goal to take the lead, Campbell told his team, "Let's finish this on offense." And they did, with a 7-yard run from David Montgomery that kept the chains moving and burned the clock. What a decision. No more Packers magic. No more Jordan Love comeback. Just pure Lions grit. Jared Goff, shaky start, strong finish. Now let's talk about the quarterback who went from a few questionable moments to clutch time hero. Jared Goff had a bit of a roller coaster night, throwing an interception that set up the Packers' lead in the fourth quarter. But, like a true pro, Goff shook off the mistake. And when it mattered most, he delivered. His leadership during the game-winning drive was exactly what you'd expect from a veteran QB. Whether it was connecting with Amon-Ra St. Brown on a critical 16-yard gain or hitting Jameson Williams for a key 19-yard play, Goff stayed calm and kept the offense rolling. Even though he didn't have a perfect game, his ability to bounce back from adversity is what makes him a top-tier QB. Plus, let's not forget, he had to do all this while his defense was a bit banged up and giving up yards. But hey, when you're a playoff-bound team like the Lions, you've got to find ways to win. And Goff certainly did that on Thursday night. The Lions' defense, sacks, pressure, and more sacks. Let's talk about the defense for a second. Coming into this game, the Lions had a few defensive injuries to deal with. So what did they do? They turned up the pressure on Packers QB Jordan Love like it was their full-time job. Early on, the Lions were relentless, blitzing like it was going out of style. Love had zero time to breathe. At one point, Love had more pressure in his face than a college student during finals week. Zadarius Smith set the tone on the Packers' first offensive play, sacking Love and reminding him that no one is safe in this game. The Packers had nothing going early, and the Lions were cruising to a 10-0 lead before Green Bay even realized what was happening. But credit where credit is due, the Packers adjusted and started running the ball with more success. Especially after a Josh Jacobs 1-yard touchdown made it 10-7. Still, Detroit wasn't going to let Love get too comfortable in that pocket. Speaking of credit, how about that big 4th and goal call at the end of the half? With the Lions facing a crucial decision and the clock ticking down, Campbell decided to go for it, bypassing a field goal attempt. And boom, Jahmyr Gibbs catches a 2-yard touchdown pass with just 11 seconds remaining in the half. Huge play, huge gutsy call, and it paid off, sending Detroit into halftime with a 17-7 lead. Packers make a push. Goff's interception and the shifting momentum. Now, we can't ignore the fact that the Packers came out swinging in the second half. After a pick by Goff and a failed 4th down attempt by Detroit, Green Bay took advantage of a short field and marched down for another touchdown. Suddenly, the Packers were up 21-17. And things were looking a little dicey for the Lions. But hey, when you've got Dan Campbell on your side, you don't just throw in the towel. After falling behind, the Lions answered back with some clutch plays, including a score from Patrick that put them up 31-28. But of course, this game wasn't over yet. Love wasn't done, and he quickly responded, connecting with Christian Watson for a huge gain, then hitting Dontavion Wicks for another 26-yard bomb, with some timely penalties from Detroit and a field goal by Green Bay. The game was tied up at 31-31 with just under 4 minutes left. Goff, Campbell, and Montgomery, the final drive. So now, it was all on Goff and the offense to seal the deal. The stage was set for some serious drama. With the ball in their hands, the Lions needed a few big plays to get into field goal range, and they got them. Goff started the drive with a 19-yard strike to Jameson Williams, followed by a key screen pass to Gibbs for another first down. Even a holding penalty couldn't derail the momentum, after Goff connected with St. Brown for a huge 16-yard gain on second and 17. Detroit was back in business, with only a few yards left to gain. Campbell's call to go for it on 4th and 1 was perfectly timed, and when Montgomery picked up the critical first down, the game was all but over. Now, all they needed was the game-winning field goal to send the Lions back to the playoffs. Playoff-bound, the Lions pulled out a 34-31 victory, clinching a playoff berth for the second consecutive year, something this team hasn't done in over a decade. It was a gritty, hard-fought win, with the Lions making big plays when they needed them most. And you can bet that Dan Campbell's aggressive coaching style played a huge role in the outcome. Will it backfire someday? Maybe, but for now, it's working wonders for Detroit, and their fans couldn't be happier. So what's next for the Lions? A playoff run, of course, with a 12-1 record and a franchise record 11-game win streak. They're looking like serious contenders. And you know what? With Campbell calling the shots, no one should be surprised if they make some more gutsy calls and keep this wild ride going. Thanks for watching. Phew, what a game, right? The Lions are playoff-bound, and they've earned it with a performance full of grit, determination, and a little bit of madness. Looking at you, Dan Campbell. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the Lions' thrilling win, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow football fans. Let's keep the conversation going. And I'll see you next time for more football analysis, crazy plays, and all the drama that comes with it. Peace out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're a football fan or just love a bit of drama with your sports, then you're in the right place because boy, do we have some spicy news for you today. Grab your snacks, buckle up, and let's dive into the wild world of football, where sometimes the real action happens off the field. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Let's go. Alright, let's talk about something that's not your typical pregame ritual. We've seen it all: cheerleaders, marching bands, wild fans in crazy outfits, but have you ever seen a head coach confront a fan before the game even started? Yep, you heard me right, this actually happened. Now, we all know that NFL games can get intense, right? But the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions took it to a whole new level before their recent game on Thursday night. The game wasn't just about what happened on the field, it was what went down before the game even started. Picture this: Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, ready to face off against the Lions in an NFC North showdown, walking onto the field and suddenly finding himself in a confrontation with a fan. But not just any fan, a Lions fan, wearing a Brian Branch jersey, who somehow made his way past security and onto the field. Now, you're probably thinking, wait, what? How does this happen? I mean, I get it. Security's gotta be tight at a big game, right? Well, apparently not, because this fan was strolling around like it was his own backyard. And to make matters even juicier, this fan wasn't exactly there for the team spirit vibes. Oh no, this guy was trash-talking and making threatening gestures to the Packers players. And you know what? That's when LaFleur, a calm and collected coach, decided he'd had enough. Cameras caught the whole thing as LaFleur got right up in the fan's face, metaphorically, of course. The guy was tossing out the classic throat slash sign, a gesture that, let's be honest, we've seen on the field but never before a game even started. I mean, talk about starting things off with a bang, right? So, what did LaFleur do? He didn't back down. Instead of just shrugging it off, He made sure to confront the fan, all while the officials were trying to get the guy escorted out. But here's the kicker. LaFleur wasn't exactly thrilled with how security handled the whole situation. He said, and I quote, "I thought it was pretty unsportsmanlike. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, no kidding. Matt, you're not exactly used to having to referee before the game kicks off." In his post-game interview, LaFleur wasn't shy about expressing his frustration. He pointed out how, in his experience, security usually handles these things much better. He didn't mince words when he said, "You're trying to de-escalate it. And then he gets in my face. I would like to see security step in and get him out of there." Well, when your coach is telling you to step up your security game, you know you've dropped the ball. And let's be real, who wouldn't be frustrated in that situation? LaFleur was there to coach a team, not break up fan altercations. But hey, that's sports for you, always keeping you on your toes. Now, let's fast forward to the actual game, Packers vs. Lions. The action on the field was just as dramatic as the pregame drama. The Lions came out on top, winning 34-31 in a nail-biting finish. But let's not forget, this wasn't just another regular game. This was a classic NFC North showdown where the stakes were high. The Packers, sitting at 9-4, were looking to gain some ground on the division-leading Lions, who were 12-1 going into the game. The Lions, despite facing a number of injuries and a depleted defense, managed to rise above and get the job done. Jared Goff might have thrown an interception, but he bounced back strong with some key throws in the final minutes, showing why he's been such a solid quarterback this season. And let's not forget about Dan Campbell, the man, the myth, the legend. The Lions head coach didn't hesitate to make bold calls, even going for it on 4th down like it was a Tuesday afternoon stroll. Campbell's decision-making helped the Lions finish the game strong and secure a playoff berth for the second year in a row. Talk about confidence. But back to LaFleur and that pregame debacle. What happened to the fan? Did he get banned for life? Was he thrown into the pit of shame, never to return to Ford Field again? We don't know for sure, but it's safe to say he wasn't sticking around to watch the Lions seal the deal. And really, who can blame him? After all, when the coach is that upset, you might want to get out of there before things get even more heated. Well, that's a wrap on today's wild ride through the Packers-Lions pregame drama and game breakdown. What do you think? Should LaFleur have handled it differently? Should security have stepped in sooner? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And hey, if you enjoyed this wild ride of a story, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more fun, and share this video with your football-loving friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, hopefully without any pregame altercations. Peace out, folks.